Hello everybody. Didn't know where any of the buttons were. Widget active waiting for chat. Don't know what that means, but let's have a play around. Professional and on time, fully prepared as ever. There we go. We're live, Friday night. Welcome everyone. Hope you're okay. What is that noise? Hello you. We have a guest who is about to brush her teeth and go to bed and say goodnight to everyone. Say goodnight to everyone.
No, I already have.
Okay, night-night.
Bye.
Bye. So, how are we today? Hopefully you can hear me and see me. I'm getting green lights everywhere, so hope we're alright. Let's have a quick run through who we got in tonight. We've got Jennifer, as you can see. We've got Scott, who's been mostly playing with his wood today, by the looks of things. I'll let him explain that earlier. Oh, in fact, there he's doing that. He's doing that with that very comment. Rocky's in. Rocky's, you're slipping. You're usually the first one in to say hello, everybody. Usually about 3:30 in the afternoon or something like that. But you've been beaten by both Scott and Jennifer today. But welcome nevertheless. Michelle's here. We've got noodle sandwich. Good advice indeed there, Michelle. I'll just partake of one of my evening refreshments as we are a little bit parched. Gone back to the old stuff. That was all Lidl had to offer tonight. Who else have we got? Libo. I think I've approved one thing, is that I cannot pronounce people's names correctly. But good evening from Colorado, USA. Snowing in Colorado. I spent a summer in Colorado playing golf many moons ago. I say summer, I think it was like 4 weeks or something like that. Staying with lots of American families, well, lots, about 3 or 4. Playing golf, of all things. There you go. Mary Rhodes, happy Friday. Exactly. It's been a long week for myself. I must admit, the weekend is welcome, let's put it that way. Sharpie's here. NJW, hi from Doncaster, hi from Sheffield. Good to see you. I wrote it down. At Ahim, hello there. Hopefully you've got your calendar, or was it your calendar or a goodie bag you won a couple of weeks back. Alex G with his enormous aquariums is in. If you are interested in monster aquariums, jump on here and have a look in the fishy section. And he kinda puts monster fish tanks to shame. Just go and have a look. I'll leave it at that. We'll maybe talk a bit about that later, because I have plans for my own monster fish tank, which aren't really working out, but we'll get there. Me Witchy Ways, Jake. Who else have we got? I've not yet got to the comment that tells me that my microphone's not working, so I'm going to just assume that it is working. Soren from Denmark, I believe. Oh, Michael, sorry, missed you out there. Ciao with Lau. We're truly international tonight. Denmark, USA, England, Scotland. Any Welsh people in? Who knows? Betty forgets a drink. I hope that's not aimed at me. We wouldn't want that to happen. Everything's very wobbly. Have I had too many drinks? Is my table about to collapse? This will make for an interesting stream if everything just collapses. Oh dear, let's get down. Rob Barry's, Vince is here. We've got Rob in. We've got someone confirming that you can indeed hear and see me. Excellent, that's what we want. Looking and sounding chipper this evening. I don't know why that would be. Yeah, it's been a tough week, I must admit. Lots of proper job stuff to get in the way. I finally got... Oh, you can't even see it because of the bleeding boom arm. I finally got around to cleaning down the embarrassing aquarium we talked about last week. And look, I can raise both hands above my head. The old rotator cuff is on the mend. Still hurts like I'm a beepy beeper. But, you know... Oh, that was a bit... if you don't know that, that's because I knackered my shoulder a few weeks back just before Christmas, and it's really put my fish room plans back massively. So I'm on the mend. I'm hoping that with a little bit of help from my friends at Fishman Aquatics, who've promised, and I'm going to make them hold them up to that promise, they promised to come and help me, that we might get some get some action in the next couple of weeks and get things moving along. MD Fish Tanks, nice to see you. Also sipping on a Stella whilst editing. Yeah, normally the stream is sponsored by Hop House 13, but they seem to have taken my love for it and decided to stop producing the stuff. So I've been trying random drinks, and this is what Lidl had to offer tonight, so we're having that. But nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Jake Corfield, hello. Another new name we haven't seen before. Well, if we have seen before, I apologise for not recognising it. Alex G, homesick. No work on the build this weekend. Gutted. Foxtail Gravy, Jacob. This is the section of the stream for all you new people where I just sit and read out everyone's name. I don't know if that's what a professional streamer type person would do, but we'll give it a bash. Courtney's in. How are we doing tonight, Courtney? You did get the calendar, excellent. So if you're interested, there are still some calendars left. Remember, all proceeds from the calendar sales go towards I haven't actually decided what charity, but it's probably going to be an autism charity. And they're only, £5, £6, something like that. So if you want one, snap up one of the few before. I don't think anyone's going to be wanting to buy a calendar after January. So get in quick, let's say that. But we'll probably give one away tonight. Maybe a goodie bag, maybe a lovely hat like this. Would you like a hat? It's still bitterly Baltic here, which is why I've still got the hat on. So, it might be of use. So hang around, and we'll do a bit of a giveaway in a bit. Glad the shoulder is better. You're not the only one. I'm extremely glad the shoulder is better. It's one of the most annoying, painful, grating... I don't know. I've hurt myself many times before in the past, but this, you just can't do anything. It really got me down, I must admit. Thomas McHugh, nice to see you. First time catching the live. First time welcoming you to the live. So nice to see you. Jake on his ever present. I was going to call it a crusade, but it's not really a crusade. But you just seem to be constantly buying fish, Jake. You're keeping us all entertained, at least, with all your new purchases. I haven't bought any new fish for a long time, but I will say that I spotted the old... I know I'm mentioning Fishman Aquatics a lot, but have a check on my Facebook page if you're not following them, and you'll see the latest video they posted. There was a lot of very interesting fish on that made me think, So if you're new here, I am planning... Well, I'm in the middle of building my new fish room. It's fish room 2.0, so it'll be a lot bigger. But I'm also planning a kind of monster tank in there. And I have lots of ideas. And depending what day of the week you catch me on is what my latest idea is. So whether it's monster fish, a bazillion smaller fish, carving up into several large tanks. But yeah, one day it's, I want to get rays. The next day it's, no, I want arowanas. Next day it is... Oscars. I want a shoal of Oscars. All these ideas buzzing around my head. So have I written it down? I do have a book somewhere where I started writing these things down. I've started keeping a list of my must-haves for the fish room. So I'm interested in your feedback here as well. So we'll throw that out to everyone. I've talked a little bit in the past and in some of my videos about what I was planning to do with the fish room, having one side as a kind of set of display tanks. Some nice setups so I can do lots of, and let's face it, I need it, lots of practice at aquascaping. Hey, MD, you can give me some tips. We can do some just really nice display tanks, but in a rack, in a garage, so it's just the tank, so not like stands and pelmets and all that kind of stuff. It's just really nice tanks with some of the fish that I really like. So I'm always going to have guppies or endlers. I'm always going to have rainbow fish. Really love my rainbow fish at the moment. Love corridoras. Some of the more popular things in the hobby that I can just keep in really nice tanks, so that might be there. And then the other side, I might have some breeding projects, because I'm always going to be interested in my breeding projects, so whether it be discus breeding projects or other things. So I'll have that there. Maybe a little build area where I can do demos of... I've done projects of, let's set up some CO2, or let's reseal a tank, or let's build a tank, let's, whatever it might be, fix a light, make a light, blah, 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 blah. All these things I can have a little area where I can just film it a little bit easier. and then a monster tank. Now I realise I've probably described 5 sides to a 4-sided room there, but we'll work it out. And then of course I want to get a pond. I've got a nice new house, I've got a nice big garden, I want to get a pond in there. So unfortunately I don't live alone. That came out wrong. Let me take that back in case my wife is watching. As I don't live alone, and I'm fortunate enough to have a lovely wife and family, I have to kind of make compromises. So I can't just decide, oh yeah, well, this acre of the garden, I'm going to turn it into a pond and have some fishing spots and stuff like that. I'm not going to get away with that. It has to be tasteful and all the things that I'm not. It has to be aesthetically pleasing, shall we say. So I really do want a koi pond, and I really do want a kind of nature pond, like a wildlife pond that will help out the wildlife and all that good stuff. I don't really want 2 ponds, and I'm struggling to find a way to make them fit together, but I might... We might sort something out where we can have like a nice patio area with a nice wildlife pond, a smaller thing with some little fishies and all that kind of stuff, and then maybe round the corner or outside the fish room or somewhere like that have like a proper, just big koi pond where I can have some lovely fish. I've been reading more and more about tank bills, reading more and more about kois, trying to pick my favourites of the types. I must admit, I don't think I know enough about it yet to be able to tell, oh, that's a high quality koi, and that's a low quality koi. They're just like, oh, that's a cool fish, oh, that's a cool fish. Obviously, if they've got deformities and things like that, yeah, I'll be able to tell. But I don't think I'm not into the scene enough to be able to say, oh, yeah, I'll happily pay $5,000 for that fish. I will not happily pay $5,000 for any fish. But we'll see. I realised I went off at a bit of a rant there, so if you are asking questions, remember, put the @Aquarium Adventures in your question line and I might see it. It doesn't really work quite as well. I'm using this new app called Twidget, which shows the comments here, so you can see them as well. So if you're not here right now, then I'm not talking. That doesn't make sense. If you're watching the replay, then you can see the comments that I'm talking about here. So where did we get to? Sorry. That's the one I spotted. So I have written it down there so I can remember the pronunciation of your name. Him has second aquatic at Maidenhead tomorrow. So best of luck. 9:30 at Sheffield. I live in Sheffield. I could come and cause some trouble. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, best of luck for that one. I hope it all goes well. It sounded like it would go well after the last interview. So Jake didn't get the puffer in the end, just a few peacock cichlids, a clown loach for me and my mate, a few convict cichlids. There's no such thing. Well, I suppose that you can buy a few, but within a short space of time you'll no doubt have 10 bazillion convict cichlids. Everyone wishing you good luck, and I second that. Sorry I'm late, only just got home. It's not like a job, Rebecca. You don't have to turn up on time. I'm still to this day astounded that anyone turns up. I think we've got 40 odd people in at the moment. I have nothing to say really, so it astounds me that 40 odd people would come and say hello. So if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments. I have a couple of ideas of things to chat about. But, when I do off-the-cuff chats about things, that sometimes gets me into trouble. And that's where we went last week, so I'm making a solemn promise not to swear at any of my subscribers tonight. I do have my fingers crossed just in case, but no, I'm going to try and be a good boy and behave myself. There you go. Thank you very much, Jennifer. If you want to go and buy a calendar, go and buy a calendar. Monster tank in the centre of the room. Walkway around the outside. I had not considered that. That might be something that we could do. Because the kind of design that I've got in my head and I can't find my little book where I drew all this out. The design in my head does leave quite a big central space, which I'd kind of thought, oh yeah, well I can have all my equipment there if I want cameras or lights or whatever. I thought it might be fun to have like a little comfortable area, and I could even do this stream from there rather than what is my office. Thomas McHugh has become a member, and I saw the notification. Well done, me, and thank you very much. Yeah, you can do all that. Click the things. If you want to click the things, that's fantastic. Lost my train of thought. I get so excited when someone does something like that midstream. Yeah, so I thought I sit here all day and do my proper job, and then on a Friday night we have a chat and do this, so it might be good just to get out of here and do something a bit different, a little bit of a different surrounding, background, whatever it might be. But you've given me a bit of an idea there, Scott, with having the tank in the middle of the room, because it will be quite a big space, and I could probably create enough space to walk around. If I could find my book, I would write that idea in my book. Oh, here's here. Really didn't look very far. It's right next to me. So I'm going to write that down. Right, and so thank you for becoming a member, Thomas. That's much appreciated. If anyone else wants to join in, you can do it. We've got two levels. What are they called? You can join in. You can join the queue of people still waiting for my ever promised extra content, which I haven't actually got around to doing yet. But if that's why you're joining, just for extra content, then you probably will be disappointed. It's going to be things like me messing around, me doing, I don't know, it might be the outtakes from some of my videos, because what you see is the finished version, and if you think that's polished, because it isn't, you see the unedited version, so you might get stuff like that and extras, but you do get to have little fancy stickers that you can join in, and hopefully one of my mods will now put out all the stickers that I laboured over creating. And then if you join at the top levels, you get 10% off anything on the website. So that's the shameless shilling done. We shall move on now. But yeah, I do like that idea. Oh, followed up swiftly by not sure the room will be big enough for that. Okay, well, that was a good idea. I'll just scribble that out again then, shall I? Scott in with a great idea and then immediately retracting. Brilliant. Just kidding. Thank you for the idea. I think that something might work there, like a kind of, what do you call them? The room divider tank, peninsula tanks. I could have like a monster peninsula maybe. I'm going to have a think about that, because I think that might be at least worth exploring. And that would make some good videos. I would fall in it, no doubt, as I was wandering around, swinging my arms, pointing at things. Wilf is in, who is a real person. Those of you who were here last week, I was convinced this was Courtney. Courtney likes to play a game with her husband Callum of making up names that have asked questions just to make me say rude-sounding things. So I was convinced that Wilf Huckett was one of said names, but it turns out it's a real person, so I do apologise for anything I said last week about that. Wilf won the giveaway last week for the calendar. I do apologise, I only sent it away yesterday, so you might have it, but you might not have it, but you should get it soon. MD, what we got? A monster tank, lots of big groups of small fish. Yeah, that is one of the things kinda I'm thinking about that. I love the way this app, rather than show you the emoji, it spells it out. A million plants rolling on floor laughing. I kind of like that idea. I remember there's been a few times I've seen that. The idea I got was years and years and years ago, I saw a tank that had like a proper shoal of Oscars. There was like, I don't know, 15, 20 Oscars in this enormous tank. And they showed around like rummy-nosed tetras, and my mind was blown by that. I was like, you never see more than 2, or maybe 3. And is that the way they act in the wild? Or if you have them in the numbers like that? And I thought, that's amazing. And I thought, well, what if you had that as well and took it to the next level? And rather than having 100 or 200, I don't know, rummy-nosed tetras, for instance, what if you had 2,000 of them? That would be a sight to see as well. But I think that might just be taking it to extremes for, I don't know, you might I might get bored of that, and I'd feel so guilty if I ended up buying 2,000 tetras and then went a fortnight later. Yeah, that was fun. Now what? There's probably the stock of a small chain store that I'd be buying up. Fishman Asthmatics is in the house. I've just been selling you up. That's not a phrase. Selling you up. I've just been bigging you up. First off, I really liked the camera work in your latest video you posted today. I liked all those zoomy shots. Sorry, I just thought I had to mention that. But yeah, you have some cool stock in there. There's lots of fish in there that made me go, So anything I can do to help by spreading awareness, I think it's well worth a wee visit if you get yourselves along to Fishman Aquatics in Oldham. They have some interesting things and some interesting ideas and some interesting people. Let's put it like that. Did you get my pot noodle? There's a phrase you don't hear on every fish-based live stream. Shell dwellers, best fish for any posh scape. I tend to agree. I did bid on a tank on eBay, so here I think this is like a 10-12 feet space, and I think it was an 8-foot shallow tank. I thought, that'd be like really good for shellies or something like that, because I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but this is the roof space, if you like, so it can't be very high. But I thought, I could get a nice long low tank spanning that whole thing. I keep just filling spaces that already have stuff living in them with fish tanks. I need to stop that trend. Yeah, but that would be really cool. In fact, but I lost. I didn't win. And I really should have done. I just forgot the auction was ending, because I would have been happy to pay what the actual winning bid was. I just lost track of time, as I always do, which is why I always turn up here at 9:05. Right, are we going to check and see whether or not the GoPro works tonight? Yay! Haha! You can see yourself. Look, you can see what I see. For regular viewers, you'll know that doesn't always work. I've managed to get... I figured it out. There was a bit of fluff in my GoPro and the connection wasn't working properly. Such an idiot sometimes. Just described my dream. So you've described Scott's dream tank, 6 foot by 3 foot by 2 foot planted. Yeah, these big tanks, especially some of the ones, my mind gets taken back to like the Amano tanks, where you see George Farmer shows them a lot in a lot of his videos. He's talked about them and showed pictures of them. They're just awesome, huge big tanks, beautifully scaped. I really like a big tank like that where it continues out of the tank. Yeah, I mean, I'm in awe of some of those things. I just don't think I have the skills to pull that off. This is often the problem, isn't it? Just got to get it past the other half. That's a bit like my pond issues at the moment. I keep coming up with ideas, and I'm not sure I even get to explaining them fully before they get shot down. But you know, life is meant for compromises. You don't see a lot of monster tanks with really good... That's a good point. So, as from @ahim says, got to change that name. I don't see enough monster tanks with really cool aquascapes. Most of them seem to be left bare, which I think is unfortunate, but it's all personal taste, I suppose. A lot of these monster tanks are bare purely from a maintenance point of view. If you have a huge footprint and it's stuffed with rocks, plants, I will come back to that after this short tangent. Thank you, everyone. I have been distracted. I can just see that out of the corner of my eye. Sometimes I think you just hate me. That's why I'm going back to Big Face, just for that. Right, where was I? See, you've done it. You've won. Damn it. When you have such a big footprint and lots of decoration, that's a lot of places for crud to hide. And when crud builds up in such an amount, that can easily cause a problem, and quickly, which is why a lot of people have bare fish tanks. They can just dedicate a couple of power heads to the bottom of the tank to lift up all the crud, so you've just got the cleanest, best water. So I kind of understand why they do it. A lot of discus keepers are very into clean tanks, bare bottom tanks, just because of the maintenance aspect of things. And I get it, and yeah, I have bare bottom tanks. They're not my favourite, but they are the easiest ones to look after. So, like you say, horses for courses. That is a good that is a good point. Most monster fish tanks being so bare lack any enrichment. Often that is the case. They're just not. I guess it's your appetite for trying to replicate nature or the environment, because that just doesn't exist in nature. There are no sterile, clean glass boxes that fish live in. But that said, I'm trying to word this without trying to sound like I'm being scientific, because I'm not, because I haven't studied this extensively, but I have half a thought forming in my brain that not all fishes are created equal. So some do really love enrichment and suffer with that. So my flowerhorn, for instance, if I don't go and play with that fish every damn day, he sulks. His cock deflates, and we don't want that. If I don't play with my guppies, they don't care. So I have had some dumb fish in my time, and I've had some really interesting. My discus, they wouldn't care if I was alive or dead. I think they're like the cats of the fish world. They're very much like, oh yeah, it's that thing that brings food. Yeah, I suppose I'll go over there and look pretty for him. Whereas the flowerhorn's like, oh my god, you're back again. Oh, and he's like the puppy of the fish world. So I think enrichment is really important for a lot of fish. Maybe it's just not as important for others. I don't know if that's true. It's just a theory. Just a theory. I only understand bare tanks for raise or breeding. Yeah, and again, breeding is a good one, because you're trying to keep the cleanest water possible, and it's the maintenance issue again for breeding, so you can maximise the yield and things like that. But you don't need to have a bare tank. It just makes it slightly harder. So if you're willing to put the work in, I think that's kind of where I'm at. I don't like bare tanks, but I'm quite happy to put in a few plant pots with aquarium soil or just normal soil or gravel or whatever, and plant the pots, so as I can just go around the pots, move the pots around. That's kind of my compromise that I would have. But the name of the place, Alex, you might have to help me out with this one. There's a YouTube channel where the guy has built his massive tanks, and he's planted one of them. Aquarium design? No. Oh, maybe it is. He has planted up his big, massive, bazillion-gallon tank, and it just looks awesome. Monster Peninsula tank, or split monster tank with semi-permanent dividers. Yeah, so Callum, he sent me a link to a tank. I think it was 11-foot tank that had some temporary dividers that you could go up and down. But it was like $2,000 and miles away, and had to be taken apart to get out of the place that it was from. And I was a bit like, bruh, I'll try to just build it from scratch myself if it's going to be that much of a arse ache. Just build a building around the tank. Yeah, I need to introduce you to my wife. As soon as I say, I've had an idea, the eyes roll immediately. Right. Oh, a question. Thank you. If you do have any questions, by the way, stick at Aquarium Adventures in it, and I will see it a little bit better. I have a small, older, wet-dry sump for my 120-gallon tank. Probably holds 15 to 20 gallons. How important is the amount of water versus the turnover? I have 10 times turnover and good mechanical and biofiltration. I think the amount of water, the only reason the amount of water is important is that it's enough to hold the media that will support your system. So on my big tank, I had quite a big sump. I had a 4-foot sump, and it was a luxury. It was not required. It did not need to be that big. The important things, I think, or the order that I like to think about when I'm designing a sump, is what happens if the power fails? Is there enough headroom in this sump to handle whatever will drain out of the top tank? And does the sump have a pump in it where it's not going to overflow the top tank if something blocks it? So I have flooded my house so many times that I'm a bit flood conscious. So that's my main thing. Second is there enough space to hold the filtration media that I want to use? Probably will be the answer in 99% of the cases. And then from that point on, you can work out because your turnover that you're going to use it at will affect those values of how much headroom you've got and how much overflow there's going to be. So you can work out whether or not it's going to handle all that. And it's different for every fish. So if you're, I don't know, let's say you're keeping discus and you want to aim for 10 times turnover, that's perfectly fine. But if you're keeping, I don't know, African cichlids and you want to aim for 15, or you're keeping guppies and you want to aim for 4, and yeah, there's a wide range of that. Noise, by the way, isn't me parping, it's my squeaky chair, honest gov. So it's hard to answer that question without knowing what kind of fish you want to keep. But if you're aiming for 10 times turnover and you have good mechanical, then yes, that's fine. It isn't important to change that. As long as everything's working for you, why change it? I'm working on a video at the moment. I shot most of it today, and it was kind of my... Sorry, just doing something. It was kind of my... I'd seen a lot of questions, mostly on Facebook groups and things like that, and it was my take on what I wish someone had told me when I started. So, or if I could talk to my younger self and give like your top tips or some advice or something like that, what would I say to them? Because I kind of blundered into a conversation midway through with two people arguing about whether or not, I think it was like an FS6 or an Eheim Pro was better, because you could cram like 30 grams more in one over the other. And I'm like, they were talking about this on a tank that was, I think it was keeping one fish. I was like, it really doesn't matter at that point. It's having filtration is the thing that's important. What type of filtration, as long as it's supporting whatever it is that you're doing, everything else is tweaks, everything else is configuration, everything else is just messing around the sides. As long as you've got some kind of filtration which is taking the bad stuff and turning it into less bad stuff, mission complete. That's all you need to do. If you can do it more efficiently, great, but it's like taking something from 0 to 100, and then after that you're just pimping it. You're taking it from 100 to 105, 105 to 110. The big gains are done down here just by having a filter. It doesn't really matter what you do after that. These are just ways to extract money. But like any hobby, that's not necessarily a bad thing. These are just extras. These are making it better, and they all serve functions. So it'll be like, oh yeah, well I value my time, so I will only have to change or clean this filter by 5 fewer times a year, and that will save me 10 hours. So that's worth spending this money and doing this research and all that kind of stuff. But it's having the filtration that I think is the key part, and then everything else is just a little thing. So I've been thinking about all these kind of things of, what rabbit holes did I wish I didn't go down, or what mistakes have I made that I could tell my younger self, don't do that thing. So I've been kind of working on that video. So if anybody wants to contribute to it, if you've got any of your own top tips or anything you'd like to say to your newbie self of, yeah, don't buy that second tank, because in 3 years after that you'll have 30. Or do buy it. Don't put off buying that second tank, because in 5 years time you'll have 30, and you can get them in year 1 if you just dump it and get straight into it. So I'm interested in what people's thoughts are. I'm also interested in making a bit of a collaboration type video, or getting opinions from, whether it's subscribers, other fish keepers out there, people that don't necessarily have an idea who I am or want to answer any questions. I'm happy to reach out to extra people. I was talking to someone else about how you move from 1 tank to 2 tanks to 3 tanks to 20 to 50. So what's the switch that flicks that says I'm getting a fish room? So I know what it is for me, and I know what it is for a couple of the other people that I've talked about, but there seems to be a very clear divide for people who they get 1 tank, they buy another one, they buy 3 or 4, and they have them in their living room, and they have them in their bedroom, or they have them in the hallway or the kitchen, and then they seem to be happy with that. And then there's other people who buy 1 tank or 2 tank and go, nah, that's it, I'm filling my garage full of fish tanks. I'm interested in the mechanics behind the thinking of how those 2 things coexist. Why do one people fill their living space with tanks and other people fill garages, sheds, outbuildings, and what's the tipping point? Not to go into the ITV show. I'm just interested in, so if you think of anyone that you go, yeah, my uncle, he's got a shed full of 120 tanks, or my gran has 15 tanks in her bedroom, send me their details, ask them if they'd be interested in having me ask them some questions, because I think that would make a really interesting video and trying to work out what the thought processes behind these things are. So, sorry, I've been rambling again. I shall quickly try and catch up with the comments while I take a wee sip. What are we at? 40 minutes. And then we'll do a wee giveaway. It's a discus tank. I forgot what the question was now. It was about sumps, wasn't it? A small, older, wet, dry sump from a 120 gallon tank probably holds 15 to 20 gallons. That kind of sounds about right. It's on the smaller side, because I think usually people will say like 20% of volume, I think, is usually a good size sump, but it's very much like, oh yeah, 1 inch per gallon for fish. It's all bollocks. I think using my thought process of, as long as it's doing what you need it to do and isn't going to flood if something goes wrong, that's the job. I really enjoyed having my extra space in my sump because I could keep loads of extra media in there, so I always had pre-seeded media for starting up new tanks, but I didn't need it just for my discus tank. Me witchy ways. I've always wanted to do 4 bow-fronted corner tanks stuck together to make a circle in the middle to walk around. I think that would look cool. 4 bow-fronted. How would you get in though? You'd need to do like 6 or so and leave a gap, or 5 and leave a gap. Yeah, it would look cool though. Pardon me. Had the pot noodle you sent the other day. It was lovely. I'm glad you liked it. At least I had the decency to send you a proper pot noodle, not one of those beef nonsense ones. Where has the on-air light gone? It's gone to the crap pile of electronic rubbish. It stopped working. I need to take it apart and do some soldering. I can't. It won't work with battery nor power anymore. It's a shame, because that was a Christmas present. So if you're watching, sister-in-law, I'm not poo-pooing your present. I did like it. It's just not working anymore. I do apologise. I was aware that you've been having a discussion about shell dwellers, but I got tangentized. Tangentized? Is that a word? I don't know if that's a word. We've got a super chat, bloody hell. £1.79 for another Stella. I think these were something like £1.79. Get yourself down, little. Thank you, Rob. Reese has crabs at the moment. I'll leave that sentence there. Reese does have crabs at the moment, and that was one of the things I went, ooh. So, son number 1, he was obsessed by crabs. And I think, what was it called? A sumo crab that was in that little video that I shared earlier on. That thing looks awesome. I'm kind of this close to saying stick a soul sticker on that one. I'll have that. But I know nothing about sumo crabs, so I don't know if I'm just going to go against all my own advice of research before any purchase. I'll have that. I guess that's how people get into this. They walk into a fish store and go, wow, look at that. I'll have 10 of them. And then that's how they end up with 10 pacus. I have kept crabs in the past, mostly marine crabs. I don't think I've ever kept freshwater crabs. I used to have a crab phobia. Is that one of the proper phobias? I'm going to have to look that up. See if it's got a name. And I was really proud of myself because I cured my phobia. Cabarophobia, the fear of crabs and lobsters. But I used to live in Glasgow, and we'd often go on day trips to, I don't know, Ayr, Largs, Troon, whatever. Do a bit of rock, scuttling about in the rock, and you'd find like a tiny little hermit crab, and I would be like white as a sheet, like, oh, instantly frozen. I couldn't stand them. But I've had to kind of train myself. Much like, never liked olives. That's a completely different thing. I used to hate olives. It used to make me feel sick, just the sight of them, the sound of them. Now, love olives. I think they're fantastic. Why am I talking about this? Crabs. So, petrified of crabs, but I could look at a picture of crab and be like, God, they are actually quite cool. And then if you learned a little bit about them and how they operate and how they work and how, because they're weird things, crabs and lobsters and crustaceans in general. Got more and more interested in them, and finally worked my way up to being able to touch one, being able to hold one. But it used to be like, I'd see pictures like Christmas Island and things like that with all the hundreds of crabs, and I'd be like, oh, start sweats. So now I've got really into them. I think I'm still petrified about them, and my kids will chase me around a beach holding a crab going, it's going to get you, Dad, yeah. But I think they're cool enough to maybe keep one. So I might have to look into more crabs. Vordoong. Fuck off. I think we can actually say that for real this time, because that's a proper spammer. Where did we get to? So, that comment, Reese has crabs to sell in his fish shop. fishmanaquatics.com.co.uk. Go and have a look. Graham, thumbs up on the To Be Fix I bought from you. My fish scoff every bit I put in. Glad to hear it. All manner of foods are available on the website. I should probably do some kind of... I should make like a wee intro sting thing when I'm doing my shameless shilling. Have I got one for... No, I haven't got one. Sorry. I'm really terrible at this salesman malarkey. Reese has crabs, pass it on. That's how people get crabs, Courtney. Come on. Let's get your mind out of the gutter. We have some massive sumo crabs in stock. They're so much fun. They are the ones. In fact, I'm going to see if I can find the pictures of them that you put up earlier, so I can share that. Let's all watch the video, and I'm assuming it's your handiwork anyway, Callum. Come on, Facebook, why are you not playing? Oh, has my internet just died? Am I talking to myself? Oh, no, we still appear to be here. Right, let's go, little face. So it's this video here, if you can see it. Can I make that bigger? No. Whee, there we go. It's very loud. How do I turn... There we go. Turn that down a bit. There you go. Look at that bad boy. So, in terms of scale, I can't really tell how big that is. Because if it's big, it'd be too scary for me. I might have to pass. But other than that, doesn't that look awesome? I think we might have missed the start a bit. I was impressed with the camera work. I just wanted to say that. I'm not sponsored by Fishman Aquatics, in case you're wondering. They look proper cool. They look skill. Is that what they used to say in the olden days? So I thought, lots of interesting things in here. Look at this as well. This made me go, ooh. I just happened to be reading up about freshwater barracudas. Sorry, I got a bit of a runny nose. And axolotls. Kids have been after them for a while. It's quite a nice ray. See, vampire crabs, I'm a little more familiar with them. And also cool. I've got to love Fred. He's looking good. Looking very plump, which is always a good sign for your puffers. And a dragon puffer as well, yeah. So again, have a look on my... I've just noticed someone's made a comment up here which my face is obscuring. Crabs! So have a look at the video, and while I'm shilling for Fishman Aquatics, have a look at my Facebook page as well. I could use a few likes on there. Gars have always been a bit like, nah, I don't really get it with gars. I know if Josh is here, he'll be doing his nutting going, what? But they've just not really done it for me. Maybe it's because I've never really seen any in person properly. These look quite cool as well. There's a bunch of fish coming up now that look quite special. Unfortunately, I can't buy any of these because I can't pronounce the names, and I'll just look like a complete fool if I try and make a video about them. But I do like these. They look very nice. Anyway, enough shameless shilling. Go and visit Fishman Aquatics. They've got lots of interesting things. Let's just leave it at that. Now everyone's talking about my deflated cock. Should be playing with it. What is that? A scientist I met said guppies' intelligence has been equated to rats. Freshwater rays are meant to be very smart, but sharks aren't at all. So yeah, to put sharks up in the... We should do like a tier list for brainy fish. Because I've had some proper stinkers of stupid fish in my time. And some that are definitely, they've thought about things. Oh, that'd be... Aquarium Domain. Is that how far back in the chat I am? I do apologise. Right, let's try and catch up. Aquarium Domain was the channel I was thinking of with the big... I think it's 3,000 gallons that's all planted out. Really cool. Definitely worth a look. I wouldn't give stingrays a bear tank. If they can cope with silt and sands in the wild, then yeah, it would make sense they could cope it in captivity. I think, or certainly a couple of people that I've spoken to who keep rays, the reason they don't like it in a tank is because the rays tend to surf on the glass at the front and wear away the sand at the front of the tank, and it just looks bad. So the sand ends up getting around the sides, it gets bare and gets bunched up into the middle. And it just looks a bit messy, as if it's not been cared for properly or something like that. So people get a bit, no, I'll just get rid of it altogether. Or, yeah, as Sharpie's saying there, they don't want them hiding in there. I don't think that's true, because I think they do quite like to, because rays do like to bury themselves, much like most puffers. They like a good thick sand bed to hide. They just go and have a wee hide, and that's one of the things they like to do. So rays like to do that as well. But yeah, they can be very, very expensive, so why would you pay all that money just to have a fish that you're never going to see? But like the rare L number plecos, Oh, I love never seeing that fish I spent 500 quid on. There you go. Salty has a question. If MD's still in the chat, I'm sure he'll be able to answer this one. Do any of you guys keep floating plants? Mine aren't really growing, so I was wondering if I could get some tips. I must admit, I've never met a floating plant that didn't grow well. And I thought I was some kind of genius, and then I realised it was just because I wasn't directing a lot of flow to the top of the water. So I think if you can at least create a calm area at the top for the floating plants to establish themselves, you'll get better results. I'm not saying it's going to definitely, yay, we fixed it. But I found most floating plants don't really like being hurled around the tank. So that's my only advice, but I'm sure any of our planty guys would probably give you some better advice than that. It sounds good. Oh, for the sump advice. My wife thanks you to it. Is that because you don't get to buy a new sump now? Sorry. Quite a few videos of them in the wild. Yes, so like I say, the rays, they do like to hide. Yes, the main risk is the barb. Steve Irwin. But I just keep an eye out. Yeah. I suppose if they're hiding and you're trying to do maintenance and then they get you. Well, I guess that's what you mean there. Where is everyone from here? In the States. Here in the States, probably noticed by non-metric units here. Yeah, well, Britain's a bit funny about that, so even people in the UK will still vigorously stick to miles per hour, but measure water in litres. Gallons sometimes. Measure in feet and inches if it's big, but centimetres if it's small. Yeah, we're a weird bunch. Degenerate fish keeper, put the tank down and walk away. Could have saved me 40 years. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of thing that I'm thinking about. So tips for what would you tell your younger self? But then you would have missed out on those 40 years of... I mean, there are worse hobbies, aren't there? There's got to be. You could... I used to play golf when I was younger. If I turned into a proper golfer, my family would never see me, and I would be even more skint than I am now, because that's an expensive hobby. Yeah, football, I've never really... I like football as much as the next... Well, not as much as the next man. I enjoy football, but I've never been a season ticket holder anywhere. I've never seen the appeal to going to a match every week, standing on the terraces, freezing my arse off, or sitting in the terraces, freezing my arse off. No, match of the day, fine. Every now and again, going to a game, fine. But yeah. I've got a big gash in my fish tank. Sorry, let me start again. I've got a big gash in my fish tank. Anyone know the best way to patch it up? I don't want to buy a new one, but don't want leaks. Right. So, Fanny Schmeller or Callum has got to be, surely. If you've got a big gash in your fish tank, some flex tape, that'll seal it up nice and good. Or there's this guy on the internet who makes YouTube videos, Aquarium Adventures. He's forever smashing his fish tanks, and he just silicones them all up. So Fanny Schmeller, that should sort you out. Fish keeping is an addiction. A lot of people have said that. Courtney, are you logging out, signing yourself up with new addresses, and then logging back in again? I swear that's what's going on. Here's another one. Look, see, he's a real person. Why is everyone with a strange sounding name attracted to my live stream? And I apologise if that is your real name, by the way, because I did that to Wilf last week. My advice is don't buy loads of tanks rapidly. I've seen too many people buy loads of aquariums and then quit 1 or 2 years after starting. Sage advice, but there's also loads of people who, well, maybe that's why they've stuck to it. No, I'm quite happy for people to buy loads of tanks and then quit 1 or 2 years after starting, as long as they put their tanks up for sale at a reasonable price. Then I can buy them. So we have a long running game. Let's check the GoPro still working. No, that's not that one. Hello, yes, we're still. Oh, what's happening there? Half the GoPro's working. That is strange indeed. Okay, I wonder if I can recreate the pose. I can make myself look extra fat or extra skinny. Okay, GoPro's webcam, 0 out of 10. We do like to play a game here regularly of who's the furthest person away. So we've got Philadelphia, or now in Colorado, I suppose. We've got, or we did have someone from Denmark, so I think you've beaten them. Who else have we got over in the US? Sometimes we get some Australians in as well. Just got 11 tanks waiting for the kids to move out before I can start on the fish room. If you've got 11 tanks, you've got a fish room. You've already got a fish room. You've started. I think once you get past like 3, whatever tank the rooms are in, whatever room the tanks are in, is your fish room. Hello, Mike. Michael Hunt. I'm looking to get into the hobby. Do I need a tank to keep fish in, or can I just keep them? Nah, just keep them. Normally, the local fish store that you buy your fish from will give you a bag. That's absolutely fine. You'll live a good 10-20 years there without any problems. Allentown, PA. Another definitely beats Denmark. We're further and further away. I have 2 aquariums. I'm trying to be a student again. In a rented flat, see, that's where it gets troublesome, doesn't it? When if you're renting, there are so many conditions, or people always complain there are so many conditions about no pets. And then you say, oh, can I have a fish tank? And they go, a fish tank? Absolutely not. Because they're worried about floods, leaks, all that kind of stuff. So I think that's very wise just to have a minimal amount of tanks while you're renting, and then when you get your own place, you can go mad. And I think what you were saying earlier about, I think you stick to 1 or 2 tanks. That's one of the things that I'd written down. In fact, I've got my notes that I almost scripted a video, but no, I just took some notes that I spoke to a lot of people before about, oh, I've only got 3 tanks. If I could just get 2 more, that'd be everything I want to keep. And that's nonsense. You could never have enough tanks, because as soon as you get something, it's always the next. Well, I don't know if it's like this for everyone, but I'm very much like, oh, I wish I had a big enough tank that I could keep some snake heads in it. I'd really like some snake heads. And then I'll do it, and I'll make it work, and I'll get my snake heads, and I'll go, oh, aren't puffers awesome? I wish I had a big enough tank for a puffer, and then I could keep a puffer. Oh, I wish I could do some breeding of some puffers, so I'll need to get another couple of tanks. Or I'd really like to try and line breed some endlers, so let's get 9 tanks. And it never ends, and I constantly lie to myself that, oh, I just need 1 or 2 more. I know for a fact I've doubled, if not tripled, the size of my fish room, and I'm already thinking, could do with it being a bit bigger. And it'll never end. So that's one of my main things to advise is make a plan, be happy with what you've got, because if you're constantly chasing, you're never going to be happy, because you're always going to be disappointed that you haven't got that next bit. So it's one of the things I'm trying to do now, say, right, all the things I keep on saying, I really want to keep this, I really want to try that, I'm going to get them all down on paper, have a plan, and have a good old bunch of years where that's it, and not get distracted, just concentrate on the things that I want to do. I keep getting pulled around looking at things and going, oh, YouTube sucks, oh, I need to do something for you, and I'm like, nah, do I need to do that? Or do I need to do what I want to do? And then if it works on YouTube, smashing. If it doesn't, at least I'm not doing something just to make interesting content. I'm doing something that I'm interested in. And if everyone else is uninterested, well, at least I'm still interested in it, rather than everyone else going, wow, look at this cool stuff this guy's got, and me going, I don't really like it though. And so I'm trying to avoid that. Aquadiction in the house, good evenings. How are you guys doing? Just reading another comment there. If you don't have a garage or shed, but you do have children, you could have a tank in each bedroom, one on a stair landing, one in the corner of the living room. Yeah, you can definitely get away with that. What kind of snake do you have? Oh, that's not at me. I don't have a snake. I did have a snake, but not anymore. Hit that like button. Right, have we been ratioed? Right, we've currently got 45 people viewing and only 39 likes, so that's not good enough. If we can make that match, we'll do a giveaway. How about that? Oh dear, itchy nose. Be quick if you want some of your 4 sumo crabs, and I sold 2 today. Yeah. I need to know how big they would be, because if you missed it, I'm scared that I might be scared of them. Pardon me. Marine crabs I found quite good. Yeah, that was mostly marine crabs that I had, and they were little diddy things, and they were really cute, so I think that's what helped me get over it properly. Right, I'm going to try and get myself all the way down. Fanny Smeller and Mike Hunt, I think I've answered your questions. If you ever want an interesting marine critter that can live in a smaller tank, a stomatopod or a mantis shrimp. Mantis shrimps are awesome things. I don't know, I think the algorithm has decided that I really love mantis shrimps because it keeps showing me videos about them. But they're pretty epic. Right, where are we getting down to? I'm trying to get back on track because I'm realising that I now talk about something and then go back to comments, and they're about half an hour behind. So I'm going to race through some of these. Pardon me. Aquadiction, can we have an interview and feature you on our website, Graham? Not a video, webpage. Sure. Wise choice, not a video. No one who needs to see this. But yeah, let me know. Happy to help out if I can. Golf, an expensive, non-relaxing walk interrupted by silly gaming involving balls and holes. It's not that silly. I do enjoy a game of golf, but it is expensive and takes a hell of a lot of time. I have 3 kids, and it's been a long time since I've had 5 hours free to myself to do whatever I want. Alex is off. Thank you, Alex, for stopping by. Connecticut, another from the USA. Welcome. Sharpie's in Norfolk, so he's stuck in the 1860s. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to run a giveaway. So let's press the button that starts that off. Right, one night water. We've got a couple of calendars left, so let's give them away. In fact, I can't show you this bit because I want you to do the numbers, don't we? So I thought there was about 40 odd people, nearly 50 people now. So we'll do guess a number 0 to 50 when I say go, and not before. Random number between 0 and 50. One guess per 30 seconds. If you get caught spamming more than one guess per 30 seconds, one of the mods will mute you or something along those lines. There are some rules though. You have to be a subscriber. You have to be a person in the world. You have to be willing to tell me where you live, including county. We'll make this worldwide. If you want one, that's fine. We will send you one. yeah, if there are things to click the things, and then you can win one. And then guess a number between 0 and 50. Go! And while we wait for that, I'll try and catch up with the comments. Snakeheads will put you in jail in these parts. Yeah, they are banned in the States, certainly, and a few other places, but they are absolutely awesome. So I really want to keep snakeheads. I've been working on it for a while. I think I've kind of narrowed it down to a Stuart high. But I'm not sure quite which type I want to keep. So definitely going to keep snakeheads. And the fact that they're banned in the States, I think, might help, because then people in the States can look at them on YouTube, and they are awesome fish. Having limited aquarium space really makes me think the more what fish I want. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I want to get down on paper everything that I want to keep. And even if it doesn't cover everything, at least then I've got a plan, and then I can prioritise if I can't fit everything in. But it does make you think, rather than just buying the first thing you see, you go, oh, that looks cool, oh, that looks cool, I'll have sort of 10 of them, 5 of them. Definitely doing your research, having a proper think about what you can fit and keep for a long term, it's definitely helps sharpen the mind, focus the mind. The Queen's in. My God. Well, if ever I was going to tell someone to F off, no, I couldn't do that to Madge. One is thinking of setting up a tank in the palace. Where does one start? Ma'am, my email address is up here. No, it isn't. My email address is up here. Let me know. I'm happy to pop down to the palace. I'll give you mates rates. As long as you can guarantee that Andy won't be around. I don't want him not sweating all around me. And we'll sort you out. Oh God, if I had almost caught up with the chat. Oh dear, so sore. Still not got a winner. You lot are rubbish at this game. I might have to I might have to drop down the amount of numbers. Right, and now I can go back a little bit. I could go around any LFS round here and buy snakeheads. Tempted just to troll my American friends. Yes, you definitely could. It's a shame because you can't keep arowanas in many states as well, can you? And they're equally awesome. I remember when I was growing up, that used to be kind of... I thought they were really common fish because every Chinese takeaway had a fish tank with an arowana in it, or a goldfish. Often both. And then you come to realise that they're selling for tens of thousands of dollars. What? So I think you can get silver arowanas in the States, can't you? But you can't have any of the Asian ones. The fancy ones, basically. So I have to check Discord. Surely everyone knew. It's got to be Callum, who's the Queen, Smelly Fanny, and whatever the other one was. Now I've lost the chat. Where's it all gone? Have I just crashed everything, or are we still live? I'm sure I saw another comment from the Queen, possibly about my knighthood. Oh, if I've missed out on a knighthood just because I can't keep up with chat, I'm going to be so upset. we've got a winner. We've got a winner. Little face. Mark F. As you can see there, he got the lucky number. Can't remember what the number was, but you guessed it. Well done, Mark F. I think it was 10. So, Mark, you can win a calendar. Where's the calendar? They're in a box. You've seen them before. They're on the website. So, Mark, yep, all you have to do is send me an email to that address. Name, address, including county, preferably soon, and then I'll get that sent out to you. I tend to do most of my posting, so if you order anything on the website, I try and do most postings on like kind of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm just usually too busy Thursdays and Fridays to get to the post office in time. So the quicker you let me know, the quicker you'll get your stuff. Oh my God. Bojo's in the house. Right, do you want to come on Discord, Boris? I've got some things to discuss with you. I'm doing a work event. Evan Hunter, good evening. I don't think I've seen your name before, so welcome. My city is considering a ban on all live caught aquarium fish and any aquarium fish that grow longer than 8 inches. Yes, we're in Canada, that should be 20 centimetres. Thank you for using the metric system. That's interesting. We did the stream a few weeks ago, if not months ago. It was more about PETA, the animal mob, who do some good things but are mostly just a bunch of nutters, in my opinion. And they wanted to ban aquarium keeping altogether and rewild everything. Pardon me. And it's just, I think these arbitrary rules of, no, if it gets to 8 inches or 20 centimetres, well, that's it. Oh no, you're not allowed to keep fish, you must return them all to the wild. And I'm sitting here with a flower horn going, this doesn't exist in the wild. Which wild am I sending it back to? So again, you can't keep a fish that will grow 8 inches. Was that like 8.01 inches and it's out? We chop its head off? Yeah, it seems unfair. I think there should be... I'll tell you about that one in a minute. I think there should be a lot more thought behind these things, because I understand the reasons why people want to make rules and want to... because they're trying to avoid animal abuse. So I personally think it's more around education and legislation on making sure correct environments are available before you sell fish. Let's see. So Paul is one of my work colleagues, and it's kind of a running joke that whenever I'm in a meeting and I want to get out of it, I'll say, "Oh, sorry, Iceland's at the door doing a home delivery." Which never happens. They're all legitimate deliveries. Sorry, that just made me laugh. Boris is here. It's part time. So we've got Elizabeth and Boris. Right, can you two get in a room together? In fact, Betty, can you not get rid of Boris? I'm sure you've got the power. I mean, I shudder to think who will replace him, but I don't know, is there not like an old jobby lying around could do a better job? Callum, how many devices have you got on the go at one time? How have you managed to log in, unless it's actually Boris Johnson and the Queen and you and Smelly Fanny, and how you're really impressing me tonight. First with your video making skills, and then with your ability to keep a conversation with yourself going for the last half hour. Well done. Which wine should I order for the next work meeting? Absinthe. I just go all out, get yourself trashed. Hopefully you'll fall over and smash your face. Email sent, says Mark. Thank you very much, Mark. Email received. Excellent. So I can get on that quickly. So many species go under the radar. The amount of wild clown loach exports are concerning. I found no reliable proof that they are captive bred either. Yeah, there are a few things that are a bit sus, I must admit. I mean, I often have discussions with people who are just, they're against pets and of any description, who are like, oh, I can't believe that you would keep those animals. They should be out in the wild. And I'm like, what, these discus that I've never seen in the wild? They've been bred in captivity, raised, tank raised. All the tank mates in there are tank raised. And if anything else, were sustainably... I'm trying to avoid just saying Project Piaba, but they're quite often doing good things about... so even if you are taking fish from the wild, that's stopping logging, Amazon deforestation, all these other things, because those communities are out there catching fish for the trade, which means that they're not just given up and the rainforest is being trashed for wood, because there is a legitimate economy in there. So it's not black and white like that, obviously. There are grey areas as well. So I just don't like these hard, right, we're going to draw a line here and this is good and that's bad, because there is quite a wide grey area. The banter with Bojo and Lizzie. Well, I guess one could be Callum, one could be one could be Courtney. It is actually Boris. My God, I apologise, sir. You're still a... Oh, I nearly said a bad word. Harlequin rasboras, yes or no? Yes, in the right circumstances. They're not a fish I've actually kept myself. I've just released a message that says, Boris, you're adult. Even though it's not Boris. I'm still going to let that message through. Anyway, Harlequin rasboras, lovely little fish, really interesting. Before I say anything else, I often get them confused with what some people call pork chop rasboras, and I can't remember if they're the same things. How are we spelling Harlequin these days? Similar sort of thing. For those who are interested, that's your Harlequin rasbora. Lovely little fish, but I've just never kept them, so they've nothing I've come across. When I like little fish, I like my CPDs, I like my Endlers. I'm really enjoying my Ember Tetras. I'm really enjoying my Chili rasboras. But yeah, Harlequin rasboras, I'd say yeah, I'm definitely on the list to keep one day. I'm not laughing at this one, sorry. Snakeheads have decimated the rivers and streams in the USA because idiots released them, and that's the point. It's the idiots. It's not the fish's fault. Yeah, it's the same. Like you see the plecos in Florida and places like that, where they're just like hundreds of them. They're sucking on the backs of the. I nearly said water otters, but that's not what I'm trying to say at all. Sea cow? I've now confirmed myself. What am I trying to say? Plecos, tumas grazing on there's a video that I saw. Manatee, that's the word. Sea cow. Is that the same thing? Yeah, I think this is the one. I don't know if I can show this or not. I'll probably get copyright struck. show you on the little face. So Blue Spring State Park, yeah, it's this sort of thing. Look at that. These are not native fish. This is because people have released them from their home aquariums. They obviously didn't release a bazillion of them, but they're just prolific. That's a hard word for me to say. Prolific breeders. And this is the problem. So I don't know if this is the same video, but there's another part of it where they're like, there's a manatee. Is this it? Yeah. So it's their natural thing to try and clean things, but the concerns are that they're trying to clean the manatees, and the manatees don't want to be cleaned, and just irritating the bejesus out of them. But it's just that's plague levels, isn't it? It's just ridiculous. So that's the reason that we have problems, because there are idiots who release things like that and cause problems for other people. So you can't keep. So even though if you're Mr. Responsibility, you can't keep that in your tank because some knobhead has released that earlier and screwed the pooch for everyone else. Pardon me. So, and that's what's happened with snakeheads. And that's probably a good. That's probably a good topic you should probably cover on your channel, because you'll do it more justice than I would. If anyone's interested in some proper scientific talk on the hobby, and in particular Loricardi, I always murder that name, then check out the Freshwater Ichthyology channel for some epic editing. Still need to give you some editing lessons, but good content nevertheless. Norma Major, when she's going to show up? If Trump turns up, game's a bogey. Giving it off. Phil has joined us. Welcome, Phil. Nice to see you again. You're joining us with royalty tonight, and we've got the Queen, we've got Boris Johnson, Theresa May. Yeah, we've got all the celebs in tonight. Don't know why I'm attracting all the Tories. But yeah, you're in good company, Phil. You don't have to be late. The Queen didn't turn up until well over an hour into the stream. Glow light rasbora, lamb chop rasbora, very similar. I make. That's why I said I often get confused with them, because they're very similar and easy to confuse. Carp and koi, but now restaurants are trying to serve them like tilapia. I can't eat tilapia, it's like eating a dog. Yeah, carp's another one that's got a bad name, even over here, although it's a very popular fish for fishing, as in rod and reel and all that. Hugely invasive, and people have lots of problems with them, but it's quite a big industry, carp fishing, and they're a big eating fish in much of Europe. So a lot of the fishing ponds in the UK, for instance, they're always complaining that they're getting plagued by people coming over and fishing for them and then taking them home to eat, or turning up in the night to nick their prize fish out the pond to have dinner. Because a lot of the Eastern European countries, it's quite a popular eating fish. But it's strange. It's weird how taste changed, because like pike was a popular eating fish in the UK a long time ago, and now nobody eats it really. I don't know why I've got onto this now. I'm really enjoying this. We should do a sketch of all this, the Queen content. Right. That one tickled me as well. Those common plecos need a bigger tank. You're not wrong. There we go. What's a good cheap dosing pump for liquid fertilizer? Well, I'm quite cheap, so I have the Giabo. I'm never quite sure how to say it. Let's look it up. I'm not using it at the moment because my big tank's fecked. But when I was using it, it worked perfectly. I was really happy with it. Giabo. I'll put a link in the chat if I can find the chat. Where's the chat gone? Oh dear, I think I've broken something now. So I put a link in the chat, but it's this one basically. Oh, I have to press the button, Graham. Come on, get it together. So Giabo dosing pump, you get them in 2, 3, 4, whatever you need, however many things you're planning on dosing. I can't remember if I have the 2 or the 4. I think I might just have the 2. But really straightforward, really reliable, didn't miss a beat, really easy to follow instructions on how to calibrate it and how to test that it's doing the right thing. For people who don't know what it is, it's basically little tiny accurate pumps that will pump whatever you tell it to. So 3 millilitres a day, it will add that to your tank. And so I made a whole video about that. If anyone can find it, by all means put the link down in the description. The reason I did it was because I was keeping a discus tank. I was doing multiple water changes in a week, so quite often your fertilizer instructions will say, oh, add 5 mils per 100 litres once a week. But I'd be doing 2 water changes in that time, so I'd have to try and break that up into a thing. So I ended up just dividing that up into 7 days using a dosing pump like this thing, which just really accurately adds a little bit every day, and you don't have to think about it. It just does it, and it was perfect. I got huge gains in my stability of my plants anyway, so a lot less algae, a lot better growth, and I think I can only attribute it to this because it was keeping the stability going, and just the results speak for itself. If you look at the videos round about the video that I made about using this thing, you can see I was having lots of problems beforehand, and then it just went from strength to strength in my opinion after it. So I would 100% recommend one of these things, and if I can find the chat I shall put a link in. It will be an affiliate link, so I will get 3 pence if you use it to buy one, but you know, it's all good. There you go. Link in chat. Why am I diddly diddling? Big problems with goldfish in southern Ontario. Yeah, big problems with goldfish across the world, I think. It's one of the main fish that get discarded in local waterways. It's just a bad thing. If you buy a fish, don't just chuck it in a pond. Don't just chuck it in the river afterwards. Gold norths. Fishermen have some gold norths in at the minute. They are beautiful. Yeah, a lot of the pond fish, I've never go as far as calling them beautiful, I don't think, but some of them are. They're quite special. Betty's favourite fish is the Toreadors. Tips for breeding stir-by water-wise, people. I have bred stir-by before. I'm just trying to think. I didn't do anything special to get them to breed. So my water parameters were naturally average, I would say. Not too hard, not too soft. Water quite warm. Kicking them off with breeding was usually triggered by large cold water changes. So you drop the temperature a couple of degrees in a fairly short period of time. That seemed to get them into it. Otherwise being kept quite warm, because I normally kept them with discus. But when I tried to breed them myself in their own tank, still kept the water quite warm, but then I might do like a 50% water change with cool water, drop the temps quite quick, have lots of what am I trying to say, lots of stuff in the tank to, so whether it be, I'm trying to think back to the tank I used to have, a load of Java moss, a load of ornaments, just to break up sight lines, because very unscientifically I felt that they were getting a little bit competitive with each other. So if I could let 2 or 3 go off in a little group and chase each other around, rather than having every male chasing one female, which seemed to be a bad idea. But water wise, I don't think I did anything particular, and I know that I've heard of people doing them in fairly hard water, fairly soft water, and being quite successful. I apologise if you can hear a dog barking. It's got some mental disabilities and likes to sit in the corner of the room and just bark at the wall. So I shall mute myself for a second. Shut up! I didn't mute myself there, did I? I just beeped. Mia! Let's see if we can get her over here. Mia? What's the problem? Right, we're going to have a special guest. Yeah. Oh, this. Look at the camera. That way. You're famous. This is my. Well, you're not the cleverest, are you? We were talking about dumb fish and clever fish. And you're definitely at one end of the scale, aren't you? Yeah. So, where do we get to? Used to fish for pike in Glasgow canals. Wow, I'm surprised there was any fish in the Glasgow canals. Right, okay. Now the 2 dogs are going to have a fight behind me. That's going to be... Well, you be quiet. Did I ever order a replacement tank? No, I didn't. So I've told this story a few times, so I'll give you the very fast version. We need to replace the floor in the hall, which is where I'm going to keep the big tank. So rather than... Are you going to shut those dogs up for me? Thank you. So rather than fill up the tank, set it all up, and then have to break it down again to move it out the way to replace the floor, I'm just going to wait until the floor gets replaced before I do that. Which I'm regretting now, because it's taken forever to get round to replacing the floor, just because trades are really hard to find at the minute. So it's like there's a plethora of things that need to be done. We need to redo the downstairs loo, move a door, then we can redo the floor, and then I can get the new tank and get that set up. So it's a bit annoying. It's one of the things that just isn't working at the moment, but yeah, we'll get there eventually. Any chatter about Prince Andrew? He hasn't joined us tonight. I think he's locked in a dungeon somewhere at the moment. Scott highly recommends this pump also. He has the 3-pot version, and it's great. It is great. I can't say anything more than that. I didn't think the Queen would be so chatty. Who knew? Yes, get yourself a good early night at a hymn, and good luck for tomorrow. Let us know on Discord how you get on. You have the support of the whole server behind you. tell them, you bring that up in the interview, say, yeah, I'm part of an exclusive group of experienced fish keepers who I can draw on their knowledge if I ever need anything. What type of foods do you feed Aquarium Adventures? Oh, thank you for asking, the degenerate fish keeper, because it gives me an opportunity to shill, which I shall now do, shamelessly. I'll do another giveaway though to make up for it. Almost all the foods that I feed. So I keep a range of fish, or in fact, not that many fish at the moment, because I'm still resetting up my fish room. But if we go to small face, all the foods that I feed my fish you can find here and buy for yourself. These are all different for different people. So these are foods that I have used over the years that I've been able to work out a deal with the manufacturers and package and sell under my own brand. So for instance, the soft Artemia, this is my almost a staple now for my discus, although many other fish do enjoy it as well. It's a lot of people on FishTube, seem to say that, seem to make a big deal about high protein. I find this is, it's probably not as high protein as a lot of other foods, but I think it's a good protein. And again, it's very unscientific, and I should probably just shut up now. But I've had nothing but great success. I've had nothing but great success with this food with my discus. It's what my discus specialist used in his fish room. I know a bunch of other really knowledgeable people who have used this food as well when they can get it in. So this is, for instance, this one's imported from Germany. It's a soft, sticky composition where you can feed it like a dry pellet, but you can also squish it together and make like big clumps. Fantastic food. But it has everything else. I have all kinds of things. I have your sticky tabs, your bug flakes, normal krill flakes. Have a look. See if you can, if you're in the US, you probably won't be able to get that. But I use other things as well. So like, I'm quite fond of some of the Hikari foods. So Hikari Vibra Bites, I really like them because they look like bloodworms. And a lot of fish will eat bloodworms, but they're a lot more nutritionally better than bloodworms. I feed some of my flower horn foods are, I can't remember the names of them now. Should really prepare for this more. Have a look on my flower horn videos for the flower horn foods, but that comes from a guy in the States actually. That's really good. But yeah, if you want, you can buy all kinds of things off my website. And some tubs to store it in too. Right. There ends the shameless shilling. Pardon me. Is this WeChat? See what you did there. I like it. Cute doggy, yeah. She has one redeeming feature at least. Mental dog, or something you can not see. Mental dog. They made me just looked at Graham like, excuse me, I'm not clever, how dare you? No, she's not clever. These are not brainy dogs. Shih Tzus were not bred for their intelligence. I'm pretty sure that's true. I used to keep a boxer. She's my first proper dog, my favourite dog. I've always loved boxers. The boxer that I did have, she was a brilliant dog. That was a brainy dog, but even then she had her moments as well. But these two, oh dear. Pardon me. Sharpie's Fishing Phantoms, I thought you'd say something like that. I thought you'd say something like that as well. So I assume this is relating to the Sterbai corridorus breeding. Pressure, temp and TDS changes trigger a whole lot of natural instincts. They do. There's no getting away from it. My fish go mad for the shrimp sticks. Thank you for the endorsement. If you have bought some, if you could leave a review, that would be excellent. The subtitles are struggling tonight. Am I talking too fast? Usually the subtitles is it's its own little comedy show, the subtitles sometimes. Alright. My God, I've got to the bottom of the chat. With 50 minutes left to go. Right, shall we have one more giveaway? Shall we get the Kaylee wheel out? I think I saw Mark earlier, but not necessarily Kaylee. Let's bring out the wheel of Kaylee. How many people have we got left? 40 something. Every time I look, it goes like, yeah, you've got 52, and then it shoots back to 47. I'm like, oh, what's going on? It's like a watched kettle every time I look at it. Right, let's do some admin. So remember, you can join the channel. What's that thing behind me flashing? Oh, this thing. Where is it? This thing. That's the Felix Smart, which I've been swearing at a lot over the last few weeks, until I realised the reason that it wasn't working is because there was a picnic, a problem in chair, not in computer. The thing above it is also a Felix Smart. So I've been trying to program the one above it, but the one below it is the one that was plugged in. So if you've heard me rant or swear or just generally talk crap about the Felix Smart, I mean, it is very, very, very expensive for what it is, but it's not, it at least does what it says it's meant to do. So we'll take that back. So that's nicknamed Kit for obvious reasons. Well, for obvious reasons if you're old enough. But it controls, for the moment, that aquarium, but it's going to control the big aquarium or something in the fish room eventually. So yes, we were doing some admin. So click on the things. So if this is your first time here and you like this kind of thing, click the subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything, absolutely free, and it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. If you liked it more than that, go and watch a video. Click like on the video and watch a couple of videos. Still free, still brilliant. If you've just got too much money, you can click the subscribe button down below and you'll get access to a whole bunch of emojis. Is that the word I'm looking for? As well as the warm fuzzy feeling of knowing you're supporting me, and I'll be able to make more videos and buy more things to review and all that good stuff. If you want to get something back yourself, you can go for the Hero Adventurer mode? That's not what I want to say. Hero Adventurer tier of joining. So the join button should be down below somewhere. And then you'll get all those same things, but you'll also get 10% off anything you want to buy on the website, whether it's merch, like hats, jumpers. This isn't one of the jumpers, this is just my comfy jumper. T-shirts, all those, anything that's for sale on the website, 10% off across the board. All good. Super chats, always welcome, not required. I'll be here doing this anyway, whether or not you send super chats, but they are very much appreciated and always welcome. So all the good things. If there's something you can click the thing, share it, tell someone. If you're on a Facebook group about fish, don't spam my videos. That's not what I'm trying to say. I can't recommend my own videos. You can. All that helps, basically. So, with all that said, let's have a wee bit of a competition, shall we? So we'll get the Kaylee wheel out and we'll see what's up for grabs this week. I'm always impressed that works. Ooh, it is a goodie bag. So goodie bags might be a hat, it might be a pen, it might be some stickers, food, whatever. I mean, if you really want something that you don't have, by all means let me know if you're the winner. But we'll do that, we'll give that away, and we will, what will we do? The numbers thing takes a bit long, and I think people are getting a bit bored of it. Would that be fair to say? Let's see what Nightbot says. Do, do, do. Right, what we'll do is we will... What? Bloody hell. Algae wafers. $17.99 with the super chats for the fill. My goodness, thank you very much. I feel obliged because YouTube keeps telling me you have to mention super chats, you have to mention memberships. People want to do these things, and I always think nobody wants to do that. But thank you. I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Absolute legend. So thank you very much, Phil. As for giveaways, so Phil has now just paid for the giveaway. Thank you very much, Phil. Shall we do the old normal keyword? Courtney, if you're still awake, we need a keyword. Michelle's got 2 staffies and they're thick as champ. I mean, I'm sure there are intelligent dogs or intelligent Shih Tzus. But my Tzus really are Shih Tzus. I mean, they're great dogs. I would not hesitate to recommend them. They're soft as anything, very cute, very fluffy, very friendly, very easy. They don't shed, none of that nonsense. But I do think, is there anything going on behind the eyes? I don't think there is. Insert Knight Rider theme, yes. Oh, Kaylee's doing a stock take. So Kaylee can't win. Someone else might win tonight. This is an opportunity for everyone. You might get something else. Someone else other than one than Kaylee or Mark might win tonight. Pardon me. Oh dear. I think we're going to have keyword as Lizzie. Yes, she's given us some great content this evening. Thank you, Mom. So the keyword will be Lizzie when I type it in. So mods, regulars, everyone's... Oh, in fact, I can show you this one, can't I? Little face. Everyone's got it. The keyword will be Lizzie. Lizzie. Go. Oh, I pressed the button too early. So the keyword is Lizzie. Start typing Lizzie in the chat. That's all you have to do is type it in the chat. Lizzie. And if you... Well, I'll give it a couple of minutes and then I'll press roll it and it'll pick a winner. So if you want to win all those things, remember, same rules. You have to be in the UK for this one because it'll probably be quite a heavy thing. Unless you're willing to pay for postage, then that's fine. You can go for it. You have to be willing to tell me where you live so I can send you the thing when you win it. And you have to click a button. Subscribe, like, something along those lines. Just type Lizzie into the chat while I drain my bottle. Lizzie. I'm impressed by the effort that's gone into this. I mean, Lizzie's gone away. She's an old dear. She's not computer literate. She's uploaded a profile picture to YouTube, used her proper name, created her account. What more can you ask for? I didn't know she was as dedicated a fish keeper as that. So like I say, Ma'am, if you want me to come down to Old Buck House, happy to come down, sort you out a fish tank. I'll do it for free, just a knighthood, just so I can reject it. As if I'd reject it. I'd be like, yeah, I'll have that. Walk around getting people saying, no, not Mr. Kerr, sir. I'd love a bit of that. Right, we'll give it a couple more minutes. Pardon me. Shall we look and see if anyone else is live streaming tonight? What are they called these days? I keep forgetting what they're called. Fish Room Aquatics. So you can see now what I've been watching mostly these days, drumming videos. I'm trying to learn drums. It's not going well. Turns out I don't have any rhythm. Cold Water Aquatics, that's the one. They normally do a Friday night live stream, but I'm not sure if they are or not. Might be having a bit of a break. Who knows? Scott will know. He's always over there tarting his mod abilities. Right, Nightbot, where are we at? Right, we've got 28 eligible users. I think we're getting there. How's the stock going, Graham, says Phil. The sticker stock, I don't think I'll ever run out of stickers again after your last order. So I think we're good. What? Betty. Sir Kerr sounds funny. Can't do that. I'm not having that. Right. If Liz wins, I'm redrawing it. I'm rolling again. Oh, pen stock. Pen stock is exhausted. Pens are gone. Pens are gone. Calendars are almost gone. So yeah, if you can get more pens, I'll buy some more pens. They're really good, those pens as well. I really like them. Oh, their internet's playing up, so it's a bit touch and go. I did notice you giving your IT advice on the stream last week, was it? Right, I think we're ready to... Yeah, we're ready to pick a winner. Anyone except Lizzie is eligible to win this one. Yeah, not having that. Mods, ban Lizzie. Right, are we ready? Should we have a drum roll? Do drum rolls work? I have a drum roll button, but I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. Let's try it. The winner is NJW from Doncaster. Congratulations, NJW. I just need your actual name, I guess, address, and I'll send that over to you. You can't see what I can see here, but there's a mod battle going on. There's a power grab going on for chief moderator. Jennifer, if you're still awake, sort them out. We're getting Elizabeth has been banned by Scott. Elizabeth has been unbanned. Elizabeth has been banned again. Elizabeth has been unbanned again. I was only kidding. We don't have to ban her. I'm going to charm her and get that knighthood after all. Off with his head. I could do my own drum roll. Yeah, I need to first learn how to do a drum roll, because at the moment it'll be, and then I get all bubbles, stab myself in the eye with a drumstick. Yeah, drums is tough. But I would like to be able to do my own drum roll. I can do my own. I could probably do that. So yes, NJW, well done, congratulations, you've won some stuff. I shall put together a wee goodie bag for you and get that sent over to you early next week. We've got 4 minutes left, and then I'm going to go for a pee. So if you have any final questions related to my knighthood, peerage, or anything else, even fish stuff, who knows, before I start on bottle 2. That's right, email graham@aquariumadventures.co.uk with your details. And anyone else, if you want to buy anything, get on the website, aquariumadventures.co.uk, buy some stuff. If you want some stickers, just send me an email, same email address, I'll send you some stickers. Again, remember, It's in the pinky fingers, the drum roll. I have heard that before. Get on Discord, that's the other thing. So let's go on Big Face again. Up here is the link to Discord, but I'm sure someone will put it in chat as well. We have a community going quite strong in Discord. None of your normal fighting. That's also going in the video that I'm going to make. So this video all about the tips I wish I had given myself. Let's carry that discussion over, because I'm sure we can fit more into it. I have already recorded it, but I have a funny feeling I might have to re-record it, because it's just some of it I screwed up time after again. But I'm hoping to get this video out tomorrow. But part of it is about the problems of finding advice. So the internet being a brilliant thing, you've got this resource where you can just go on the internet and ask someone, how do I do a thing? It stops being brilliant when 10 different people give you 10 different ways of doing that thing. Another example of that today. Oh no, my thing's leaking. Is, well, bollocks. Sorry, pardon my French. Bollocks. I've just spilt a load of stuff. Somebody had posted a picture of a tank sitting on a dresser or something like that, and they were sliding a credit card under it, so you could just get a credit card under it in the middle, but you couldn't get it at the end. Something like 90 replies. Oh, you need to get polystyrene. Don't get polystyrene. Get a yoga mat. Oh, don't do that. You need to put wood under it. Oh, you need to shim the bottom of the thing. Oh, you need to do that. It was a floating tank on a fucking bit of plastic. You don't need to do anything. It's fine. It doesn't actually sit on that. Even if it did, you don't need to use polystyrene. Polystyrene does not level tanks. I wish people would stop going on about bloody polystyrene and leveling tanks. Polystyrene takes out pressure points of bits of grit and things like that between two hard surfaces. It will not level your tank. Sorry, I'm going off at another tangent now, but the point I was trying to make is my Discord server is not like that. You will not get all these differing opinions and jumping on people and shouting down their throat and things like that. Because I have an excellent mod team, so you should all be thanking my mod team, because they keep this running and they keep the Discord server going, and it is a good place to talk about anything really. But if you have fishy questions, it's a really good resource. So join up. It's free. You don't have to do anything. You can just pop along and say hello, and let me know what your tips. What happened there? A light has gone out. All my lights have gone out. Why would they do that? They've gone out together. I guess that's a sign that I should just give up now. Okay, investigations needed. Let me know what your tips are. What would you tell your beginner self? What mistakes to avoid? What opportunities to not miss? And I might include them in the video tomorrow. So, with that, a last look through any last questions. Goodie bag equals goldfish in a bag? No. Goldfish go in boxes, glass boxes. Queen, pinky fingers. I don't think we've missed anything else. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you, my moderators, for both causing most of the problems and fixing them. Thank you. Let's get everyone some cheers in the chat for the moderators. They do an epic job keeping this on track. But more than that, they keep the Discord server going as well, and I think everyone that's been in there so far has enjoyed it. They found it useful. It's not been the Facebook toxic group type experience, so let's keep that going. And all that said, when you see the notification coming out for the new video, give it a watch, give it a like, even if you don't like it. Tell me why you don't like it, all that good stuff. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. I feel like I should play the national anthem now. Now that we've had royalty in the house. But anyway, see you next time. Bye.